Okay, so the next one is the wall sheet. Okay, and on here you've got a door, you've got 3 different types of walls, which are got slightly different sort of textures and bits, and some of these got like little bits of damage and stuff on the other side. So the door with its ramps, this little clip, and you've got the ramps, enough ramps to furnish all of these doors in the right ratio, etc. So very simply, do a wall first of all. So I'm going to pop a wall out for the first time. These have got slots all the way around, so it'll come out quite nicely. So there's that, and you'll need 2 clips from the clip sheet, which we'll come to soon. And for this one, we're just going to pop out a couple of these ramps here, or a ramp here. Okay, like so. And that's what you're left with. Now, remember, before you assemble the door, well, the walls. Before you assemble the walls, you want to just sort of kind of adjust any slots as needed. Looking at this one, you might want to widen these little bits here, and this one here for a clip certainly. Everything else seems all right. These slots seem all right. Ramps sometimes are going to need a little something as well. So possibly these ones a little bit, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so we all know how to assemble a wall. One in the bottom there, one in the bottom there, and then basically what you're going to do, you're going to stick this one on here. Try and do this backwards. So there we go. That's one on that side, and then the same on the other side. And there you go, assembled. That was a bit tight on that side, so you might want to sort of widen the slot. The slots on the ramps can be a little bit wider, they're just going to sit in there basically. There you go, that's nice and simple. And if you want to do these ramps here at an angle, they're exactly the same, they slot on, you'll see in the other videos. So that's that, there's a wall, couldn't be simpler, got lots of them to do. And again, remember, widen these as you go, should you need to. For the door, we've got a door right here, so I'm going to pop that out. So there's that, and you've actually got the door sitting in its own little piece like this. Okay, and you've got the door surround here. I guess you have to be a bit careful with this because you've got some half cuts here on this door. Like so, and actually we've got a clip there which we can use for the door, which is fine. And the ramps for the door are this little square bit here, so we just pop those out as well. So that's that, put that aside. Okay, so this is the door. Now with the door, once you've assembled this arch into the door, you don't really want to be taking it out again. If you want to, you can glue it in there, by all means, it doesn't really matter. But it doesn't need to be, I guess, is the important part. So with the door, what's important to know is that you've got these half cuts here which are ready to bend, nice and simple, and that makes your little arch there, and that'll form to shape when you push it into here. And you've got one side of the arch actually becomes a clip, okay? And the other half is just, the other side is just this simple triangle. So it's the short bit here where the clip goes, okay, and the big triangle, the bigger bit, goes on the bigger expanse. The way we've tooled this is we've tooled it so that we've made these high enough that there's enough tension to hold this in here. But you might want to adjust it, okay? We don't want them too loose because the archway will fall out. So it might be a little bit tight going in, and if it is, I'll adjust it. So the way to do this is just to grab this here, okay? You can just pop the whole thing in, and you're gonna pop that on there, and then just slide it down, okay? And then pop it on and make sure it goes right down. So that's one half. Okay, and then you need to slide this bit on, and it's going to be under a lot of tension. Okay, so what you do is holding the door nice and firmly. Remember, don't bend or twist it here. It's quite weak here. And you're just going to pull that in, pull that in, pull that in, make sure it's fully in. And then you're going to hold the door quite sturdy, and you're going to need to hold this quite sturdy, supporting it, and you're going to lift it up under quite a lot of tension and pop it onto its slot. Now if I push that now, there's quite a lot of tension here, quite a lot of tension, and I think, oh, you know what, I think it might be a little bit tight, so I'm going to show you how to adjust it, because we'd rather have it too tight than too loose. And if you want to adjust it, all you're really going to do is you're just going to lower these very slightly. It's very simple to do, okay? Just pop a little nip in there, a little nip in there, and then you're just going to take a little bit of height off of here. Whoops. And you're going to take a little bit of height off of this one. Remember, you only do this once, okay? And then you might find you've got a little bit of a better tension, so pop that back on there. Oops, Daisy, doing it for you guys, like that. And then you look at that and you think, right, is that a little bit better tension? And will it go on? So we've got that. I'm going to pop that onto there like that. Okay, that now goes on. Okay, I think it would have done beforehand, a little bit more tension. The other thing as well is if you keep messing about trying to slot it on and slot it off, these parts here that stick out might start to kind of fray a little bit, I guess. No particular problems at the moment, but I'm sure they would do, so this is why we just leave those in. However, remember, before you assemble this, if you use a little bit of the glue to put the super glue and just edge round the edge, as per that kind of video that you might have already seen, if not go and have a look at it, it just becomes like plastic, it'll never fray and it'll slot in nice and easily. Personally, I probably would, that would be one part I would glue. But anyway, there you go, that's that in there. The door, what are we missing? This bit here. Just pop that out on there. Oops. Sheet's falling apart now. Okay. The door simply slots together like so. There you go, and you've got your little door. Pop it down, give it a bit of pressure. There you go, and there's your door. That obviously goes in there for when you're having a game. Pop that out of the way. You've got your clip here, which is going to pop in there. Now, this bit here really is a little bit tight. I don't know, should we push it in, see what happens? Yeah, I don't know, might be alright, might get away with it. Or, yeah, that's a little bit tight, and I think that needs a bit of an adjustment. So, because the clips are not going to stay in forever, they're going to be in and out, because you might want to have this. You'll use a clip converter if it's going to be on the second level, and you're going to have a door, and you're not going to have a ramp both sides, etc. So, but anyway, I did that like that. And looking at these ramps, I can see this one here. I think I'm going to adjust that slightly. Just give it a little bit more width, like so. Easy peasy. Okay. And looking at here, sometimes on here you can get, this can be a little bit too sort of cut across, so that's completely fine. Actually, that one's fine as well, but just I think it's just show you how easy it is. Just grab it there, cut a little bit extra out. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And remember, these are the sort of places you can always do that little glue edging technique to turn that into like a solid piece of plastic, as it were. Okay, so what you're left with here is your ramps here and here, and all you do is put one on one side, put one on the other side. Okay, so you've got this going on here like that, and then for this one here, this just goes on the front like that and slots down. I'm going to try and do this. Let me spin it around so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, that just sort of slots onto there. And the same with this one here. Let's see if I can do this backwards and left-handed on there, and slots in and down. I can't see if that's on. Yeah, it's on. Okay, and then of course that's where everything starts joining itself together when you kind of making things up and etc. So there you go. That is the door. When you're gaming as well, you'll notice on the door there's a longer bit here for holding and putting it in. You can just fidget the doors in, but you'll find that the doors just slot in best if you push them right up, in and down a bit. That's it on that, and you've got some other ramps and pieces, and everything else is just repeated on there. So overall, that is all the parts for the wall sheet, which is exactly the same for the infested walls and exactly the same for the clean walls. Okay, cool. On to the next sheet.